Have we already seen the Bitcoin top, and are we expecting the beginning of the bear market, or we have more power in the tank of this bull market and altcoins about to explode? That's the question I want to cover today on Vitality's Crypto Show. So welcome everyone. We have seen some violently turbulent, volatile times over the last week. And the question remains, are we in a bull market? And what's going to happen next in the immediate short term, in a longer term? That's what I want to cover. I have a lot to share with you on this stream. So let's start with Bitcoin, covering right now at around $112,000. So we're testing this long-term trend line over here. It hasn't been broken yet. And if you look at the weekly, this is the EMA ribbon over there. We definitely turn bearish once on the weekly we close the candle itself below, currently at $97,000. So unless we are there closing the candle below $97,000, we are still in a bull market. Now, of course, we don't want to test this week low for Bitcoin of $102,000, despite the fact that through crashes like this we oftentimes come back and retest the lows, and it may be possible for Bitcoin to do so. For the altcoins, of course, I don't expect it to anywhere close to touch the week lows, because on some of the coins, like for example SUI, it literally went from $3.50 to $0.50 in a matter of 10 minutes, and a lot of the altcoins are like this, down 80-90% in a matter of 10 minutes, rebounding quickly. So I do not expect this week for the altcoins to go that low as we've seen on many of the altcoins, but there is a chance, and I'm going to discover and share with you this on the stream. There is a possibility that we should be aware of, at least that in the immediate short term we can go a little bit lower over here. It doesn't mean it's going to be the end of the bull market. However, there's also a chance that we do go up. Looking at this reaction to this dump, it was not quite significant yet, and we might see another low here retested, possibly. But here is the bigger question that I want to ask and answer on this show, is whether the top is already in, whether we should expect a bear market, or this is an incredible buying opportunity when the fear is on the market and we are still in the bull market, okay, which is what is most likely on the scenario, because markets is probabilities, as you know. I would say 80% chance that we are still in a bull market and the altcoin season is ahead of us. Only 20% chance that that was the top. And I have a lot of reasons to believe why this is the case. First of all, Jerome Powell just announced yesterday the quantitative tightening will end in the coming months and quantitative easing will follow. What does it mean? It means that they have this policy of not issuing this new currency so much in the quantitative tightening, and now with quantitative easing, what it means is they're printing more and more money, which is of course more money coming to the market. It can come into risk on assets, into crypto, and we're gonna see an incredible run up, especially now in the Fed decision in end of October. Right now, pricing the market is 96% chance that we're gonna see a basically decrease in the interest rates, which will flood the markets with fresh new money, right? People can borrow it cheaper and they can buy more risk on assets. So all of this aligning with the timing that we can see a pump towards the end of October in the next several weeks, and this also aligns perfectly with the charts, with this week down below, the buying pressure that came in over there. Okay, so what we do want to see is over the next several weeks a green candle forming over here for the next week, and then a green candle forming to try and once again to create a new all-time high for Bitcoin. And then we're gonna see a real blow off top, because I want to share with you, we have not seen any indication that the bull market has been over. Of course, nobody comes and announces bull market is over, there's a bear market. In a hindsight, you know, people kind of look at this in a hindsight, like let's see 2000, what ended 2021 bull market. There you go. When Bitcoin reached the top of $69,000, that was the end of the bull market, and we had this bearish engulfing candle on the weekly, and that was it. From there, Bitcoin just slid down and down and down, a little bit rebound, and down we go into the bear market. So that was the top. Okay, now what we are seeing over here, this doesn't seems to me like a blow off top, a mania like we've seen before when Bitcoin is going up multiple weeks, like 1, 2, 3 weeks, and then boom, a blow off top. Okay, what we are seeing here was a long consolidation over here since June 2025, and a little shakeout. That's what it seems like to me, and a real blow off top is coming later. Bitcoin is retesting its most crucial trend line since 2022, since the first time, and we haven't broken it, right? So bull run may not be over, and it's just reloading, and we are retesting this trend line. Ethereum bull flag is still intact, and if confirmed could aim for $6,700 Ethereum next. I'm gonna show you who is very, very bullish. The institutions very, very bullish on Ethereum, like Tom Lee. Bitmine bought $834 million worth of Ethereum. Crazy, right? He knows what's coming. $15,000 for Ethereum is coming, almost $1 billion he bought. And the Bitcoin funding rates, they flip negative, which is a bottom signal. Every single time the funding rate on the futures is where the shorts are paying the longs, right? We're seeing those spikes to the downside over here. These red candles over here represent that the funding rates are negative, and that's usually a bottom signal, right? After that, we see crypto going up. So this is gonna be the case once again over here. Now, let me show you some evidence that at least we need to be cautious, because the bull market timing, like the top is somewhere near. And why the top is somewhere near? Well, there is several indicators. One is the fading demand. This is the price and apparent demand 30 days change. The demand that is going down over here, it's signals that we're somewhere approaching the top. Okay, another is a cycle. A cycle, if you compare to the previous cycle in the green and in the orange lines, we can see that we are somewhere aligning here for timing wise after the halving. This is counting days from the halving to the top of basically here the cycle. So what does it mean? We need to be cautious. It doesn't mean that we ended this, that October the 6th, and that's the big question. October the 6th, $126,000, was it the top or not? That's the big question over here. That was technically an all-time high, $126,000, but again, cycle-wise, it is somewhere near days post-halving to the previous cycles, but there's other evidence suggests that we're not there yet, right? We have Tether continues to print fresh USDT, $3 billion more just printed right now for a USDT, and this money tends to go where? Into crypto, of course. Over the past few days, centralized exchanges have seen significant asset outflows, with Binance experiencing $21 billion. Well, no wonder this is the case, because Binance because of Binance, the cascade of liquidations events happen, leading to the prices of altcoin falling 40 to 50 to 60%. But take a look at the MVRV Z-score. When we see in 2017, 2021, it spiked into this red area every single cycle before that. We're nowhere near right now on this score that indicates that we have a blow off top. Another one is pi cycle top indicator. Again, when the orange and the green line has been a very perfect indicator to show the top cross, that's when the top is, and we are nowhere near these lines are crossing. Also, if you see the 200-week moving average heat map, you can see that we're still in this blue area. We are not in the green area or the red area like we've seen before. So many indicators and this rate cuts are coming, and most importantly is the institutions. The institutions, are they holding? Are they buying? Are they selling? Let's take a look at the ETFs over here for Bitcoin, right? So we see BlackRock continues to basically print demand for institutions are keep buying, they are not selling. Okay, let's take a look at Ethereum over here. Well, Ethereum, we see a little bit of a selling over here for Ethereum, but overall for them, they like nothing crazy happened. Okay, for them, because if you look at the how much the price of Bitcoin changed, it was like 7-8%. So it's not a big deal. It's a normal week, not a big deal. Okay, so they don't play leverage on meme coins and altcoins with 50x, 20x leverage like a lot of the retail's doing, and they got wrecked even with 2x leverage on all this crazy volatility. The institutions are accumulating, they're buying more. So that's another sign that we basically may see, because look at this, Fidelity made big purchases yesterday, $132 million of Bitcoin, $154 million of Ethereum. The institutions are buying, and that's one sign again that the bull market is continue to be. It doesn't mean that Bitcoin cannot retest lower here, okay? But we are in a significant right now test of the support. We are on the support. So unless it's broken with the body of the candle here on the weekly chart, there is no reason to believe that we're gonna do it. But even if we do and come back here to $100,000 for Bitcoin, it still doesn't mean we're gonna end the bull market. But a lot of people think it will. But right now the sentiment is the bull market continue, because the 50-day moving average, we are basically the 50-week moving average, I'm sorry, here is sitting at the $102,000. We just retested it every single time in the bull market. We are retesting this line. It happened over here, it happened over here, and it happened over here. So basically we're still just retested it. We might come back lower here. We might feel this $102,000 week might happen. You need to be prepared for this scenario, right? Do not open crazy leverage long positions over here. Be cautious with this stuff, because it can go a little bit lower over here. However, over the long term, it doesn't mean that the bull market is over. All the indicators tell the top is not in yet, right? The institutions are here. This is what's driving the market. Ethereum to BTC just made a clear trendline retest after breaking out. Alt season is not canceled. It's brewing from here. And I tend to believe this is the case. We see New York City just established the Office of Digital Assets to promote crypto. We have New York fully embracing crypto. And looking at alt season, Bitcoin dominance is what is important over here. And it's similar to 2021. We are printing here on the dominance this crazy weekly wick on the upside, signifying that it can go much lower over here. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin dominance on the weekly chart. I mean, look at this. Look at this crazy week on the upside, signifying that we're going to continue most likely this on the monthly as well. We're going to continue for the altcoin season. The time for altcoins, you cannot time it perfectly, but we're going to see some crazy moves in altcoins. And if you're not positioning your altcoins, then what are you doing, right? If you're not buying some altcoins during this dip, then what are you doing? What are you waiting for? Okay. So what do we have here going on? Well, we have a situation where the altcoins are getting ready to go up. Here's another evidence: the altcoins market cap versus Russell 2000 US low caps after forming for a couple of years here, a cup and handle. We do see a breakout of Russell 2000, and now following that bull run 2025-2026 is altcoin season 2025 breakout. Are we going to see that? Altcoins, let's see. Meanwhile, gold is at $4,200, printing new all-time high. Absolutely crazy. A lot of OGs and big whales are speculating that Bitcoin is going to follow gold into new all-time high. It just has a bit of a delay over there. So let's see how that is going to turn out. Gold leads and Bitcoin follows harder. We see Congressman Troy introduce a bill that will cement President Trump executive order allowing Bitcoin in 401k into law. So that is a good thing to see. Is Solana ETF coming? Because Solana posted, what if you literally put Solana on Wall Street? So I think Solana ETF is coming. If you're not loading right now, you can load Solana right now and do it before this ETF, because you know what happened was Bitcoin ETF was announced, when Ethereum ETF was announced, it went parabolic, it went ballistic. So I believe we could see something similar to Solana, and the chart looks great for Solana to actually do that. And the dip was bought up and continued going higher for Solana. The bull market is not over. The best is in front of us. So that's something that you really need to pay attention to. This thing. We have this insider Bitcoin whale that opened up a shorts of $500 million Bitcoin shorts. He actually closed it at a profit. So why did he close the short? Well, after the Jerome Powell speech, and he said, well, basically, we're gonna turn into quantitative easing. Well, he closed the short. Now we can pump. And you know, a big game of politics between President Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping. Are they gonna meet? When they're gonna meet exactly? What time they're gonna meet? Are they gonna reach a trade deal agreement? I don't know, but expect volatility. I believe they're gonna reach some kind of a deal. These two presidents, yeah. But you need to understand that volatility is coming. And right now, you can participate in what is called the airdrops. There is some airdrops that is happening. One of them is MetaMask. The Mask token is coming. This is the OG Ethereum wallet, over 30 million users. How you can participate in that? You can use MetaMask across Ethereum, Arbitrum, Optimism, explore snaps, especially Bitcoin and security extension, perform regular on-chain activities, ensure pre-2023 usage is visible on-chain. So if you're willing to do all of that, you might have some drops of Musk falling into your wallet. Let's see that. Let's see it happening in reality. Let's take a look at some of the altcoins. I loaded up on Aster. Well, I did it a little bit prematurely, a little bit too late. This was the time to be buying Aster, but still I don't think it's too late over here. I think Aster can go way higher than the previous highs also with the altcoin mania, which we have not seen yet once again. So this is still cheap to me. But of course, if you have been able to load altcoins on this crash, you would have been already up, for example, on Aster, 35%. It's money. It's good money. XPL is moving higher. XPL, if you could load over here, it is up about 30% over there. If you look at the majors, let's take a look at TON, a little bit up here to $2.40. Let's take a look at SUI. Again, couple of days up over here. If you bought this crash, if you bought this blood on spot, you will be up right now. Okay, doesn't mean that we can not test lower once again. We could test the $2.5 for SUI, even go lower here. That's altcoins, and it's gonna largely depend on what's gonna do Bitcoin, what's Bitcoin gonna do, what's Ethereum is gonna do. But overall, there is some good timing even right now to be loading on altcoins. You know, like Aptos is still very juicy right now, $3.60. It was trading at over $5 not so long ago. So is it a time to load up on the altcoins? You can ladder it in. Instead of going all in on one altcoins and deploy all of your capital, you just ladder in DCA to catch a good average price while we're still in this correction with the altcoins. Because if the thesis is true and we are gonna see the Bitcoin is not still at blow off top, we're gonna see new highs, Ethereum gonna see new highs. If this is true and Solana ETFs is coming, other ETFs are coming for crypto altcoins, we might have an extended cycle. And if this is the case, now would be still a good time to be buying those altcoins. Okay, if we're not gonna see that, if that was the top of the market, which I don't believe it is, there is 20% chance it is, then altcoins will go lower. But it's all a game of probability. I don't see a reason to panic yet for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, for Solana, for if anything, this is a buy the dip opportunity that the market is giving you. The market is fearful right now, so buy the fear and hold it, right? Don't try to time the market. Just buy it and hold it, because we might see some very, very good shots over here. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope you enjoy this episode of the show. Subscribe to the channel, stay up to date, obliterate the likes, stay up to date with everything happening in crypto. And I hope that you survive this crash, that you are not hurting that bad. If you're not been actually leveraging on altcoins longs, then you'll be all right now. The spot didn't move as much, although it did fell, but you'll feel the down on the backs 30% on some of the altcoins. It is a great opportunity to buy the dip. I think the cycle is not topped in yet, although we might see a little bit another leg to the downside. Time will tell, guys. Let's enjoy this volatility, and I'll see you in the next episode.